If his engine fails now, he dies. Below him, jungle. Above him, 6 enemy fighters circling, waiting for him to fall. Smoke fills the cockpit. Oil pressure, 0. The controls barely respond. And minutes earlier, he attacked 64 enemy aircraft alone. No backup, no reinforcements. In the next few minutes, this 23-year-old pilot will do something no combat manual ever taught. He will fly a burning fighter plane upside down to survive. December 13th, 1943. Assam, India. Philip Adair is already airborne over Dinjan airfield when he sees them. Dark shapes forming in the eastern haze. 24 bombers, 40 fighters, 64 aircraft heading straight for the base below. Reinforcements are 38 minutes away. The bombers are less than 20 miles out. Doctrine says, wait. Adair pushes the throttle forward. The Allison engine roars as Adair climbs for altitude. He banks wide, putting the sun at his back, and 4,000 feet between himself and the formation. From above, it's clear. The key 21 bombers hold tight V formations. Oscars weave above and below them. They don't expect an attack this far from target. Adair rolls inverted. The nose drops. Airspeed builds fast. 320, 350, 360 miles per hour, 800 yards. He fires. 6.50 caliber guns hammer the lead bomber's wing. Metal flashes, then flame. The engine erupts, and the perfect V formation shatters instantly as aircraft brake to avoid collision. That's the objective. Disrupt the bombing run. Not destroy the formation, break it. He pulls up hard. Then he sees them. 40 Oscars diving from above. The Ki-43 is deadly in a turning fight. If he turns, he dies. So he dives. The P-40 accelerates in a straight line. Heavy. Fast. 4 fighters close from high. 10 o'clock. He fires a short burst, misses, and extends away, refusing the turn. Behind him, the bombers try to regroup. If they reform, they reach Dinjan. He dives again. This time, he punches through the escort at over 400 miles per hour. 300 yards. He fires. Another bomber's engine explodes. Debris scatters. The formation breaks again. The raid is unraveling, but the escort adapts. More Oscars begin cutting off his escape angles. Adair checks his ammunition. Already down by nearly a third. The bombers are 15 miles from Dinjan. He has minutes. He pushes the throttle again. And that's when he notices it. The engine temperature is rising. The temperature needle keeps climbing. 230, 240. The Allison is liquid-cooled. If it overheats, it doesn't limp home. It fails. Adair has a choice. Reduce power and let the bombers regroup, or keep attacking and risk losing the engine. He keeps attacking. 2 Oscars charge head-on. Closing speed, over 600 miles per hour. Muzzle flashes blink. He fires first. At 300 yards, his .50 caliber rounds slam into one fighter's engine. The Oscar breaks away, trailing white vapor. Adair rolls and dives again. The bombers are scattered now, not pressing the attack. One more pass. He fires. Rounds rip through another sally. It breaks formation, smoking heavily. The raid is collapsing, but the escort isn't. This time, 12 Oscars dive together. He pulls up, too late. Rounds tear through his right wing. The aircraft shudders. The right aileron feels wrong, sluggish. Another burst strikes the fuselage. Coolant splashes across the windscreen. The temperature spikes past 250. Steam pours from the engine panels. Oil pressure begins to fall. The Allison is dying. He eases the throttle. The aircraft starts descending immediately. Above him, the remaining Oscars circle calmly. They've seen this before. A damaged fighter bleeding altitude. Smoke fills the cockpit. He cracks the canopy. Cold air rushes in, clearing some smoke, feeding the fire forward. Below, the bombers turn southeast. They're retreating. He's done it. The raid is broken, but now he has to survive his own aircraft. At 8,000 feet, the oil pressure needle hits zero. Zero. Inside the engine, metal is grinding against metal. The propeller vibrates unevenly. Power fades. 6 Oscars slide in behind him at 400 yards. Close enough to kill him. They don't fire. They're waiting for the engine to seize. Then, a sharp snap. The right aileron cable fails. The wing drops violently. The nose follows. He pulls back on the stick. Almost nothing. The aircraft pitches into a steepening dive. Altitude unwinds fast. 6,000. 5, 4. The jungle fills his canopy. He isn't flying anymore. He's falling, and he has no pitch control. 3,000 feet. Airspeed surges past 240. Seconds from impact, unless he finds something no checklist ever mentioned. And then, an idea. 3,000 feet. The dive steepens. The right aileron is locked down. The elevator barely responds. The aircraft is being driven nose first into the jungle. Adair thinks fast. The damaged aileron is forcing the right wing down. The trim damage is forcing the nose down. Both failures are pushing the aircraft in the same direction, but aerodynamics depend on orientation. If he flips the aircraft, the forces reverse. At 1,800 feet, jungle filling half the canopy, Philip Adair rolls the P-40 fully inverted. Negative G slams him into the harness. The engine coughs. The fuel system wasn't built for this. Then, the nose begins to rise. Not much, but enough. The descent slows. 1,500 feet. 1,300. The aircraft is still burning, but it's no longer diving. Upside down, at roughly 140 miles per hour, he levels out, alive. The engine sputters again. Fuel starvation. He rolls upright. Instantly, the damage controls force the nose down again. Descent resumes. He waits, loses altitude, rolls inverted again. The nose rises. This time, he gains a little altitude, 50 feet per minute. Slow, but climbing. Above him, the 6 Oscars circle. They're watching something that makes no sense. A burning fighter flipping, inverted, climbing, rolling back, then repeating the pattern. It looks chaotic. It isn't. Flip to climb. Roll upright to feed fuel. Repeat. Each cycle steals a little altitude back from gravity. At 2,000 feet, 1 Oscar dives toward him. Adair sees it. He rolls inverted to gain lift, then snaps upright toward the attacker. The Japanese pilot breaks off. No one wants to collide with an aircraft behaving like this. The Oscars hesitate. Then they peel away east. The crippled American fighter is finished anyway. Adair is alone now. Alone with 0 oil pressure. Alone with a dying engine, but climbing. 3,000 feet, then 4. Nagaghuli lies ahead, 20 miles. The engine should have seized by now. It hasn't. It runs rough, violent, barely holding together. At 5,000 feet, he stops climbing. Turns toward base. He keeps the rhythm. Flip to gain altitude. Roll to feed fuel. Below, the jungle recedes. Ahead, the runway comes into view. He survived the formation. Now he has to land it. And that may be the hardest part. Nagaghuli. Airfield grows ahead. Runway. Tower. Revetments. Safety, if he can reach it. The P-40 is barely holding together. Smoke trails from the cowling. Oil pressure, 0. The engine is living on borrowed seconds. Then he remembers. The landing gear is hydraulic. Hydraulics need engine power. If the engine quits before the gear locks down, he won't slide to a stop. He'll flip and burn. He pulls the gear lever. Nothing, not enough pressure. There's a backup. A manual hand pump. 28 strokes. But if he releases the stick, The damaged aileron will roll the aircraft. He improvises, unbuckles his lap belt, wraps it around the control stick, braces it tight, crude, unstable. Enough. He grabs the pump. 5 strokes, 10, 15. His arms shake. Smoke has been in the cockpit for nearly 15 minutes. 23, resistance builds. 28, a heavy thud, left gear down. 3 seconds later, right gear. Drag hits immediately. Airspeed drops to barely above stall. 7 miles to go. He steadies the aircraft. Then, 2 miles out, the engine quits. No sputter. Silence. The propeller slows and stops. Now he's gliding, and the P-40 is not a good glider. From this altitude, a clean aircraft might make it. This one is damaged. Gear down. Drag everywhere. He's short. He remembers the inverted glide. At 1,800 feet, he rolls inverted again. Gear down, upside down. The runway hangs above him. Descent rate improves slightly. He holds it. On the ground, personnel stare. An inverted fighter with landing gear extended is approaching. Technical Sergeant Robert Martinez grabs binoculars. Smoke trailing. Unstable approach. For a moment, he wonders if it's enemy. A machine gun is swung toward the aircraft. Adair is at 400 feet, still inverted. Vision narrowing. 200 feet, 300 yards from the threshold. He rolls upright. The right wing drops instantly. He fights it. Barely enough elevator to hold the nose. The P-40 crosses low and fast. It slams into the runway. 7 Gs. The right gear collapses. The wingtip digs in. The aircraft spins in sparks and concrete fragments before grinding to a stop. Silence. For several seconds, he doesn't move. Then he unstraps, climbs out. His legs nearly give way. Ground crew catch him. Behind him, the Allison engine hisses and ticks. Seized solid. The aircraft is destroyed. The runway is not. Mechanics later open the engine. Seized pistons, warped rods, metal fused together. By every mechanical rule, it should have failed miles earlier. They count the damage. 16 bullet holes in the fuselage, 7 in the right wing, 4 in the left. Control cables severed. Hydraulics punctured. The P-40 will never fly again. But Dinjan still stands. All 24 bombers turned back. No bombs hit the runway. No transports destroyed. No casualties on the ground. The hump airlift continues without interruption. 3 days later, Philip Adair is awarded the Silver Star. The citation is simple. It does not mention flying inverted to survive. It does not mention the upside-down glide to the runway. It only states that he disrupted a formation of 64 enemy aircraft and prevented destruction of Allied installations. Understatement. He flies 95 more combat missions, becomes an ace, survives the war. The P-40 was considered outdated by 1943. But on December 13th, over Assam, one obsolete fighter faced 64 enemy aircraft. He didn't wait. He didn't turn back. He adapted, 64-1, and the one refused to die.